Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When I was trying to get this podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions. How do I record an episode? How do I get my show into all the apps people like to listen? How do I make money from my podcast? Well, the answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. When I started using Anchor to do my podcast, it was so extremely easy that I haven't even bothered to look for another app to use. I love this app. It's the only one I deal with, the only one I even recommend, period. I recommend you get on there ASAP. If you want to start a podcast, this is definitely the place to go. It's easy. You can drive around and record. You can sit in your basement and record. You can do it anywhere. It's fantastic. So if you've always wanted to start a podcast, make money doing it, go to anchor.fm/start, anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Adam Rich from the Really Rich Podcast. And today's topic is really focused about comparing yourself with other people. A lot of people fall into this trap, man, of comparing yourself where you're at on your journey to where somebody else is, whether we compare them by age or we grew up with them or it's a family member. Sometimes people can be super jealous of their own siblings, their own brother or sister, their own mom or dad, their own kids. Like, it's sad when it happens when parents are actually jealous of how good their kid is doing, and they get mad or sad or depressed about it, and they're bitter towards it. You know, as a parent, you should always be rooting your children on to be bigger and better than you were. You know, that's kind of the point of you raising them as a parent, is you trying to give them all the wisdom and knowledge that you've accrued over all the years, and to help them learn that at an earlier age so they don't fall victim to the same traps or problems that you may have gotten into. You know, we all do this. And so many people will start a new venture of some kind, whether it's schooling, a business, a new job, a new relationship, something that is new to them, and they're not sure if they want to publicly announce it to the world because maybe their friends or their family or the people closest to them don't know them in this way, so maybe they're nervous about all the judgment that's going to come with it. You know, this happens so many times, so much to especially young people. Young people fall victim to this all the time. And I hate using the word victim, but I just mean in general, like it's very easy to fall into the trap of not wanting to do what actually makes you happy by fear of judgment from others. And the reason why I feel like, it's when people are around you all the time, people you care about, you start to care about their opinion of you and how they feel about you, because especially if you have a really good relationship with a person, it's, you rarely want to go out of your way to do anything that could damage it or make it, either they make fun of you or they just talk you out of it or tell you that you're not good enough. There's a lot of things that go into it. But if it's something you're really into, you should never worry about what anybody else has to say about it. It's not their life or their journey that you're going on. You're going on your journey. You're doing your thing. So I hate that when it's very discouraging to other people to, take a step out of their comfort zone and do something it may lead to them being ultimately happy. It's sad when people are discouraged from doing that. And it's not easy. I don't want to say it's a brave thing to do to, start something new, but sometimes it is. It depends on what it is. But anytime that you take a step back from doing something that you may just, make you miserable, or you just hate doing it. Maybe you have a job you don't like, or you're with someone that you don't really want to be with, or you've been going to school for something for a long time because you felt like it was going to be the smarter option, but now, you don't like it as much. And it can be very difficult to just all of a sudden stop and change your mind. But changing your mind in that area is a very, very powerful strength. Because when you recognize that you're not happy or that something is leading to you not being as happy as you could, and then you changing it without support from others, it's a very powerful thing, and I think a very necessary thing to make us ultimately happy in the long run. So I applaud anybody that does this. Anybody that will put forth any bit of effort to change their life ultimately because they think it's going to lead to them being happier. I'm all for that. I think that's phenomenal. And I encourage it big time. But what a lot of times what I see happen is people will, they'll start something new and maybe they're doing it for a week, a month, a year. And maybe after a while, they're just not as far along as they'd like to be, or they have people that do the same thing that they're into. So they look up to certain people and see the path that they took and try to mimic that. And listen, you can't compare yourself with other people. You can't worry about their journey compared to yours. Every one of us starts at a different place. We all start at zero, but we start in different places. And sometimes it's easier or more like maybe we get luckier. Maybe we just certain people happen to be in the right place at the right time quicker than other people. Some people are more talented than other people. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. Some people are just more talented. Some people are better. Some people learn quicker. You can't be mad at where you're at compared to somebody else. All you can do, the only thing you can control is what you do, the effort you put in, the focus that you put in on yourself every day. No matter how much you love or hate somebody doing something, it's your job to worry about you. And you can't control where they go or what they do. You just can't. They're on their own path. So instead of worrying about, they did this and maybe there's an element of their game that you can do, that you can implement on your own that helps you move ahead quicker too. Maybe there's something that you can learn from what other people are doing instead of just being mad that they're farther along than you are. One thing I think is very critical is you should always have gratitude. You should always be grateful for the fact that wherever you're at right now, it's farther than you were at before. At some point, you were in a farther away place from where you want to be than you are right now. And so it's your job, because I don't know you can't just say it. It's not a broad blanket statement. Each person has their own struggle, their own issues, their own things that they've dealt with. We all come from a different place, different perspective, different angle, different upbringing, different opportunities, different chances. All you can do is worry about you and focus on wherever you're at, deal with the situation the way it is, whatever it is that's going on currently around you, deal with that, accept that, and then strategize. Come up with a game plan about how you're going to go forward from here and how you're going to get where you want to be from where you're at right this minute. But wherever you're at, I'm sure if you're just thinking about starting to change your life or change your habits or change your diet, change your philosophy, change your career, I'm sure if you're just thinking about that, you're already farther along right now than you were than when you weren't thinking about it. You know what I mean? So instead of beating yourself up about, I'm in my 30s or I'm in my 40s, I should have started sooner. Younger people have the advantage. Yeah, sure, but you also have the advantage of experience. You also have the advantage of seeing the world in a different way because you may be old enough to remember the world before the internet. And somebody that's in their early 20s does not know that. They have no idea what it's like pre-world internet. Or pre-internet world, I should say. But it's you have to look at things as a perspective. Everyone's got shortcomings. Everyone has problems. Everyone has setbacks. But everyone also has talents. Everyone has gifts and skills and abilities and desires and passions and wants and intellect and wisdom and knowledge. And we all have different things. So just figure out what yours is and then use that to your strength, to your advantage. And stop comparing where you are compared to someone else right now. Your path may take longer, but it may also last longer. It may also be better when you get there. It may be more suited for what you want instead of what that person wanted. It's perspective. But really, guys, that's all I got for you today. I didn't want to make a real long, drawn-out one. I just wanted to get to the point with this. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Focus on you. Stay patient. And just keep working. Keep working hard. Hard work pays off. I know it doesn't sound fun, doesn't sound exciting, doesn't sound, like a happy time. But it's just the truth. The harder you work, the quicker things happen, the better opportunities come your way, the more breaks you'll get. But I love you guys, and I thank you so much for listening. If you want to ever get a hold of me, please do you can do it through the Anchor app, through the Anchor app. You can leave me voice messages. You can also find me on Instagram at Really Rich Podcast. You can find me on Twitter at Really Rich Adam. You can find me on LinkedIn as Adam Rich, founder and host of Really Rich Podcast. You can find me on TikTok. It's Adam Rich. And Snapchat and YouTube is just Really Rich. And so I'm on, if any podcast platform, any major podcast platform, you should be able to find my show. So I thank you so much for listening. I really dramatically hope that this helps somebody, anybody. And I love you guys, man. Without you, I wouldn't be doing this. It'd be a waste of time for me because I already know this stuff, so I would just be talking to myself. So anyway, thank you guys so much. I love you, and I'll talk to you soon, all right? Peace. I'm out of here.